Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now August 4th of 2023, and given that there has been a lot of things happening with Disney, the board of directors, as well as Bob Iger, with the whole shakeup that's going on between what to do with the live-action Disney remakes, Star Wars, Marvel, the cost containment plan, and even both the Disney and the LUCASFILM purge that is working hand in hand with each other. There's a lot of things happening right now, and the biggest subject of all has a lot to do with Disney getting sold off to somebody else, to some other major business or some other, major company that can really take control of it all. And there is a lot of developments surrounding this, so we're going to be jumping into exactly what's going on with the board, Bob Iger, and what their overall eyes are set on here. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. And let's get right into exactly what's going on with Bob Iger. Now, I think that a lot of you will agree with me on this, that Bob Iger is easily the worst CEO of all time, not just related to Disney, but I think he's really out there as the worst CEO. I mean, not just because he lies, but also because people within the Hollywood bubble that are like within the same exact, spectrum of people that are just out of touch with reality are even going against him. That goes to show you how bad he really is in Hollywood at this point in time. Now, looking at Disney, the biggest question of all that a lot of people have been asking for the past number of months, there's been a lot of things circulating out there about Bob Iger seeking to sell Disney eventually, and as it turns out, there's been a lot of conversations happening between himself and the board, but it's not what you imagine. Let's get into this. Now, with Bob Iger currently developing multiple strategies behind the scenes to course correct Disney throughout the remainder of this year into next, after multiple meetings took place throughout July, through, of course, the latest one in August, had much to do with the contingency plan for Disney that has now been put in place to sell Disney to another business or entity. One major development surrounding that is that Iger and the board have held multiple conversations about selling Disney altogether, and only if their streaming models continue to fail leading into the 2026 year, along with their films and parks, and ongoing losses for high-budget movies and TV shows. Iger is already looking into selling multiple aspects that Disney owns by 2024, and that is already well on the table and has been heavily discussed. As it turns out, Iger has already suggested multiple major businesses that would be a great fit to sell Disney to, and to start with selling off different elements of Disney that they already own. Right now, the strategy by Disney is to actually have all their business models run into 2026, and if everything keeps failing onwards, then they will sell. The board and Iger are looking to sell it within that year. Now, there have been conversations between Iger and the board about what they want to do with Disney Plus during 2025 if 24 ends up becoming a big failure on their end as well. Now, guys, I don't know about you all, but Iger has made it openly clear that globally speaking, they have been losing subscribers progressively for Disney Plus. And a lot of people that I know in my social circle and their social circles, a lot of people, surprisingly, have been giving up on Disney Plus, or have really kind of just been subscribing for one show and then exiting. And that's becoming more common. That's becoming a more common thing that people out there are doing, not just in the States, but around the entire world. And that really spells a recipe for disaster when it comes to Disney Plus alone. So 2026 right now is like the year. This is the main year that they have their eyes focused on, to seeing things through, how Disney's going to perform throughout the remainder of this, next, and the 2025 year. 3 whole years, essentially, leading into 26. Now, here's the other problem. We do know that Bob Iger never really tells the truth on record or on camera. He keeps on telling everybody that Disney is doing very, very well, regardless of this downshift that they're dealing with, that they are fully confident in a successful return. Whether it be the movies, merchandise, the parks, doesn't matter. Bob Iger fully believes that everything happening with Disney right now is going to eventually recover, and it's going to recover greater than ever before. Now, here's the problem. We see everything that's happening with Snow White. We see everything that's happening with Star Wars and Marvel. Can they really turn that all around and really make it all the better is another open question that is being discussed between the public right now. Given that, Bob Iger is not a good fit as a CEO, the board are very incompetent individuals. They have no idea how to handle anything, and the shareholders, a lot of which are very unhappy. Except for the top ones, of course. I mean, they love what Disney's doing, let's be honest here. But there's a bigger problem at hand here, is the fact that Disney just keeps doubling down and doubling down on all these failures, on all of these box office flops, and all of the Disney rate hikes just continuing, along with merchandise. They don't really care. And at the end of the day, it's really going to bite them. It's true. It's going to bite them eventually to the point where they're not going to be able to return or not even be able to recover. And they realize that. That's why they're looking at 2026, though. They're giving themselves enough leeway to recover and to see if they even can. Now, the biggest question of all, who in the world would Disney even, get sold off to? A lot of people have been thinking about Apple. That's been the ongoing rumor right now. I don't really see that. But that's just my own take on things. But continuing on, Iger has already been having serious discussions on ditching Disney Plus if it doesn't meet expectations for next year, and if they continue to lose subscribers or have less frequently subscribed users on the platform. Now, with the cost containment plan deeply impacting quality projects related to film and television, everything is beginning to create a ripple effect, all because of both Iger and Chapek combined. Over the years, 2026 as of now is the major go-to year that they would consider selling it off to give them enough room to see if they can even succeed for the next 3 with Star Wars, Marvel, and more related to Disney remakes. And on top of that, now here's the other issue at hand. There are less and less attendees going to the parks. I know a lot of people that I know don't want to go to the parks at all, and even there's a lot of analysts out there that have been, really criticizing Bob Iger, blaming it on the humidity. And the fact that, we're talking about the Orlando park, by the way, specifically, I don't think it's the humidity, I don't think it's the heat, I think that just people don't want to deal with these crazy rate hikes, and a lot of these people have big families, and when they go there, it's a really costly vacation. It really is. It really is. There's no doubt about that. Between the parks and the hotels, the merchandise, the food, the drinks, it's ridiculous, and Disney just doesn't care. So that's what's really kind of, destroying themselves, and unless they reduce those hikes, those rates, and do things better with excluding the nonsense and the agendas with the movies and the shows, I don't really see them recovering by 2026. I just don't. So John1176 here, from my Twitter, suggested that maybe Amazon would buy it. I don't even know about them. I don't know if Jeff Bezos would even buy out Disney. It really is an interesting subject. But overall, guys, I would like to hear what your take is on this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moans again.